Anand. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here today and representing the Sheffield Hallam University. So today in this video, we're going to talk about Anand's background, then what it's like to study at Sheffield Hallam, his timetable, the course, and everything you need to know. So if you want to study this course or generally want to know how it's studying here, do check out this video and I have a playlist in the description box below with some other interviews as well. So without further ado, let's begin. So hi Anand, welcome and thank you for being here.
Hi, hi Devyani. Thank you so much for having me here. I've been watching your videos, by the way, so they are really interesting, and I hope your users love them because I've seen a lot of traction on your videos. So you're doing great, and keep this up. And so I'm happy to contribute whatever my experiences are in the UK, especially when it comes to Sheffield Hallam University, because there are a lot of questions that come to people's mind when they are thinking about moving abroad for master's degree, which country to select, or if they have selected UK, which university to select, because there are a lot of universities who actually provide the same courses. So it is tricky. So should I start with what my experience is or what my
So I'll
background is?
ask you, like, just firstly introduce yourself again, your full name, again, which course are you
Okay.
studying, and again, at Sheffield Hallam, but just like a bit about.
Okay. Okay, so my name is Anand, and I am studying international marketing at Sheffield Hallam University, and it has been one semester now, and I'm in my second semester. So the experience so far is great.
Mm-hmm,
Uh, me personally, coming from a marketing background, it sort of helped me at university because certain modules I knew earlier.
mm-hmm,
And so basically, there are four modules every semester. For the first semester, there are four modules. Second semester, there are five modules. And then you go for your dissertation. So that is your third semester. So it's
right.
a trimester pattern, basically.
Okay.
And since you have also done international marketing, you could relate more to certain modules
Mm-hmm,
because they are more international marketing oriented than just simple plain marketing management oriented.
mm-hmm,
Because when I was working, so in terms of my background, I did my Bachelor of Commerce in marketing, which
mm-hmm,
where I studied simple marketing techniques and strategies. Then I did my Masters of Commerce in finance and accounting. So it was not related, but I still did that because I did want to get a degree in finance as well. And
mm-hmm,
then I was working in an advertising agency. I guess we met there for the first time.
mm-hmm,
And then I was sort of into marketing communications at the beginning.
mm-hmm,
Then I moved to another company wherein I moved in more from B2C to B2B. And then after that, I moved to an American tech company called 18 Technologies, where I worked as a B2B marketing operations specialist.
right.
So I sort of fell in love with more of B2B because that's what I was since the beginning, because business was more closer to me than being creative.
Mm-hmm,
And because since I learned creativity, I could apply it to business as well. And then
mm-hmm,
I thought that let's explore this field further. And international marketing was the perfect field for this.
mm-hmm,
So I moved to the UK last year in 2023 September intake at Sheffield Hallam University to pursue this international marketing course. And coming back to the modules, they are interesting. So if anybody who is not from marketing uh, and wants to explore marketing, international marketing can be a good option for them. Specifically because it teaches you not just marketing but business management in general. So it's like a sandwich of marketing communications and your traditional MBA,
mm-hmm,
if I may put that way. So yes, the first semester was good. The
mm-hmm,
professors are very nice. Sheffield Hallam University is not a Russell Group University because most of the students, because I had the same question that should I go for a Russell Group or should I not go for a Russell Group? And so the problem is that most of the Russell Groups charge you a lot of money for the same course. And this is my opinion personally, that if you come from an experienced background, say for example, I have an experience of around 4 to 5 years now. So if you really want to come here and make a career out of it, and you still have a good experience, so you don't necessarily have to go for a Russell Group. It's your choice. I'm not saying you don't have to, but these universities who are non-Russell groups are also good because UK has a lot of universities, and the courses are structured in a way that they should be in line with the overall courses that they provide throughout the UK. So it's not like Russell Group universities are providing something else and you are getting something else from cheaper universities, or it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
They are on the same level because, for example, I'm in Sheffield, and in Sheffield there are two universities: University of Sheffield, that is a Russell Group university,
Mm-hmm.
and Sheffield Hallam University, which is not a Russell Group university. I found out that my professors also teach at University of Sheffield,
Interesting.
so you get the same education, but the fees are really less as compared to University of Sheffield. Both the universities are great in their own sense, because certain support is better at University of Sheffield, certain support is good at Sheffield Hallam University. So I would suggest that if you are coming from a good background, also good work experience background, also do check out certain universities that are not Russell Group universities.
Mm-hmm.
So you
For
can also
freshers,
have
do
those
you
because,
recommend a Russell Group University?
pardon?
For freshers, do you recommend a Russell Group University?
Yeah, it would be good for them because they are starting, just they are just fresh out of uni, and they want to get a master's, and then they are going to go for their work. So always it's better to have a good name on your back in terms of university, because in the UK also it's like a brand basically. So like graduating from a Russell Group university does matter to a certain level, but again, going back to the same thing, if you have experience, then it's like you can manage that much leverage, because you still have an experience, because when you go out in the job market, they're going to ask you what you bring to the table rather than what university you graduated from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like pros and cons, but yes, Russell Group universities are also better in that way. If you're a fresher or you have a minimum experience of 1 to 2 years, you can still go for a Russell Group. And even if you have 5 to 6 years of experience, you can still go for a Russell Group.
Mm-hmm.
But it's you. I'm just saying that you should give a chance to these universities also. They are not bad.
Let me just add to that. So I had made a video about like what it's like to study at Russell Group universities. I've added it like right here, like you can
Yeah,
find it here. But the main difference more than anything is like the research approach. So Russell Group universities are very much research based, where if you want to do
yeah,
a PhD and if you want to like, get into like the more technical aspect, that's where you choose Russell Groups. It's not
yeah,
necessarily like better in that sense in terms of like the education, but of course, like it's much more
yeah,
technical. That's what I've
yeah,
noticed. So I think when I talk to you more about your course in detail, I will understand how it is different because both of us have studied the exact same course, one from Russell and
yeah,
one without. So I think we can
yeah,
discuss that further. But before I
yeah.
get into that, I also wanted to ask you, like you already did your master's in finance. Then
Mm-hmm.
so what made you do another master's again?
So I had a master's in finance and an undergrad in marketing. I thought that I should take it forward in by taking a master's degree in marketing, but I didn't want to do a master's in marketing management because I
Mm-hmm.
already did an undergrad in that.
Mm-hmm.
And since I told that I started my job in marketing communications, then I moved from B to C to B to B. Then I sort of thought that this is more streamlined, more to what I want to do in my career going ahead. And in terms of this course specifically, it's more of business management, and it's more of about international markets, because going forward I want to look for a career where I can study different markets,
Mm-hmm.
when I where I can work in different markets in terms of countries. So it gives me more exposure, because as you know, you are from marketing and you're working in marketing, so marketing changes in terms of geography, because it is all influenced by people and places as well as the price.
Mm-hmm.
So the currencies matter and they're different in different countries. So marketing strategies drastically change when you switch to countries. So I really wanted to learn that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I took up this course, because there were other courses in other universities where they offer marketing management or marketing management with business management or something like that. But that was just marketing that I did in my career and my undergrad. So I wanted to learn something else, but have a master's in that. So I went for this one, international
Okay.
marketing.
So like let's just rewind a bit. Like we have talked a lot about your course and I have a lot of questions regarding that as well. But like
Mhm.
when you were choosing, which other universities did you consider?
So yes, I also did choose Russell Group, because as any other person who is clueless about going to the UK, I went to all consultancies.
Mm-hmm.
I visited them. I did talk to them. They gave me a list, obviously, and I did my research at my end. And I applied to Russell Group universities, which involved Exeter, University of Exeter, University of Birmingham, Queen Mary University. Then University of Leeds, and then the other non Russell Group universities that I applied for was Manchester Metropolitan University, and Sheffield Hallam University. So I sort of compared the prices. I saw the modules, and I wanted to. I didn't want to like really invest nothing more than 25 lakhs,
Mm-hmm.
and because I still had experience, so I thought I would rely on that more.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get offers from all of these universities, but I thought Sheffield Hallam University did provide this course because I was specifically looking for international marketing, and I saw the same course at Queen Mary University, which I was very keen on taking, and I had almost narrowed it down to taking it there. But some modules were not quite what I wanted to do, and I found those here. So I sort of thought that just let's take it in Sheffield Hallam than a Russell Group like Queen Mary. But the course was really good at Queen Mary, no doubt. But
Mm-hmm.
there were certain modules that I didn't want to take up because they didn't quite match with what I'd want to do in my career or what I did earlier in my career.
Mm-hmm.
So these ones were pretty much straightforward and which really sort of aligned with what I wanted to do in the future and what I've been doing. So they
Mm-hmm.
sort of supported me in studies because I had practical knowledge. And then for some modules that I didn't know about, I can just use it in my further career. So that's
Right.
why I came to Hallam, and I also applied to all of these universities.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk more about Sheffield Hallam in more in detail. So you mentioned that you have 3 semesters in total for, you know, 4 subjects each. So like
Yeah.
let's just take it a bit slower. Can you just name few subjects again? Because like it was a
Okay.
lot of information in the beginning. So just name some subjects you have this.
Okay, so for semester one, I had more of subjects related to international marketing, like global brand management. Then I had a subject called understanding markets, wherein they teach you how to analyze and sort of analyze, read, and understand different types of markets in terms of countries. So it's like a simulation-based module wherein you are given a company, like you have to create your own company with a team of 5 people, and you have to run that company. It is pure analytics based, and you are given two products and you have to sell it in the markets. It
Mm-hmm.
runs for 8 periods. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like a simulation game, but it's like a more practical game wherein in future, if you become an international marketing manager, if you're given certain products to launch in a international market, then it will teach you what you need to do exactly in terms of that role. Then the third module was relationship marketing. It taught you about how you maintain relationships in terms of your customers, in terms of your B2B clients, everyone. And then the third one was marketing decision making, wherein so we had a global pandemic, right? And the world went upside down. And in such cases, what marketers should do in certain situations, how should they be prepared for future scenarios that might happen or might not happen. So calculating those and devising strategies was taught in that module. So these were the
Mm-hmm.
4 modules basically in semester one.
Interesting.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can, are you?
Okay. And in semester two, we have it's just started, so it might take me some time to remind those. I have international consumer behavior right now. Then we have research methods, which is a part of the dissertation. So in semester two, by the way, you have 5 modules, not
Mhm.
4, because the fifth
Are
one
these
is research
optional
method.
or like can you choose which modules you want to take or is it like assigned by the university itself?
No, the for the entire year you have a fixed set of modules that you have to take, because I saw for certain universities you have an option where you can select certain modules in second semester. But in my university, I think it's most what you have been given. You have to learn that,
Okay.
so you don't have a choice as to what. So also coming back to the same thing, you also should check if there are any option modules that you might take or skip, because if they don't align with what you want to do, you shouldn't
Mhm.
do that,
Mhm.
obviously, because universities like us, like Sheffield Hallam University, there are all compulsory. So you need to really check before getting in,
Right, makes
because you
sense.
don't want to learn something that you really don't enjoy or really don't want to,
Okay.
just for the sake of it.
So,
So
at the university, like how many lectures do you have a day? Is it very hectic or like how is it divided? Let's take any
uh,
country.
it's not hectic. Like when the semester begins, the first few weeks are a bit hectic because they want to get in as much as possible. Because in September, when you come as a fresh student, they want to sort of there are students who are not from marketing background, who have just graduated uni, who don't have practical experience. So they just want to hammer you with a lot of information first, so that you sort of get into the action of or being into uni, because you're an international student, there are a lot of things going on in your life.
Mhm.
You're trying struggling to find accommodation, everything is just going in chaos. And then there are a lot of things that you need to consider, and they teach you a lot of things. So first few weeks can be difficult, but then you sort of get into uni, what is uni, where you can get help in terms of your modules, your tutor support, everything. So first few weeks are a bit hard, but then you sort of the lectures go down. So first few weeks you might have to spend around 4 to 5 hours a day in uni.
Mhm.
That is not every day, 3 or 4 days maximum week, because they tend to give you one day off
Mhm.
from uni because for self study and to chill. So yeah, first few weeks are difficult, but then it goes down from 3 to 4 hours a day,
Okay.
kind of.
So, but
So
now,
three
like
lectures.
by the end of the like, do you have fixed lectures like every day one lecture or every day three lectures, or how does that look like?
It keeps on rotating actually. It sort of it depends on the professor, most importantly, how they
There's
are
no fixed
capturing the.
timetable for anything.
Yeah, it is fixed because we have the app wherein we get to know the schedule before. So
Mhm.
it might change weekly, but 90% of the time it is fixed. So in if
Okay.
you're asking in that terms, yes, it is fixed.
Okay. And do you have like any online lectures or everything is offline?
First semester was purely offline. You had to go to the uni. Second semester is there is one module that is international consultancy project, wherein the lectures are online,
Mhm.
but the seminars, that is the workshops that they call, are offline. So yeah, there's only one lecture
Do
because
every subject
I've
have seminars?
pardon.
Do every subjects have seminars?
Yes, so every subject has a lecture wherein they cover a certain. So if they're teaching topic one, they'll cover that in lecture one, and they'll cover the same topic in your seminar, wherein they will actually make you practically work on some worksheets or some tasks, so that you are gaining knowledge from lectures and you are applying them in seminars. So it's like that. So
And
every module has a seminar.
right. So, can you just tell me like how does the teaching look like? Like in terms of lectures, like does everybody come together and the teacher teaches and everybody listens and then that's how you do it? And seminars, how many students are in the seminar and how does that the interaction work?
Yeah, so lectures are more broad because in lectures you won't find essentially people from your course, because people from other courses also join you in lectures, because they have taken certain models that are in their course. So for example, people who are in business management with marketing come in lectures with
Oh,
marketing, international marketing.
mhm.
So they are also there, and the class size is pretty big as compared to your course, because if marketing course has like 50, 60 people, they will be there in lectures. But in seminars it is more of narrow, because
Mhm.
it doesn't have people more than 12 to 15, maximum 15 people, three
Mhm.
or four groups of 5 people, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that might go to 20, but rarely. So because the reason behind this is that they want to give personal attention to you. If you have not learned anything in lectures, if you have difficulty in understanding something in lectures, they sort of clear your doubts in seminars, and it's more focused on student. So every professor goes around to every individual student and checks if they are on the same page, because
Mhm.
they don't want students to fall back on certain subjects if they've not essentially understood the basics. So they
Correct.
sort of ask you if you've understood the basics, if you can apply it well in the class, so that they can see, and if you have any doubts, you can just clear it out, because people have anxiety to ask questions in big lecture halls.
Mm-hmm.
So the seminar is a best place for those people to have their questions resolved. So yeah,
Okay.
this is how the teaching goes.
So tell me a bit more about your projects and assignments. Like you mentioned, you have a live consultancy, but otherwise, do you have to like write papers, or is it more practical, or how is it like? Like anyone
Okay.
can explain how the assignment was like.
Okay, I'll just give you an overall view. In semester one, all the assignments were purely workbook related. So you had to just like write the assignments. There was no practical or a project that you had to do essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as that is concerned, in semester two, we have a a module called international consultancy project, wherein we have to actually work for a company. The company is going to come to us in uni and give us a brief on what marketing challenges they are facing and how they need to solve. So we have to sort of come with a group project wherein we have to come up with a strategy, a presentation, and give it to them and solve their issues. So
Mm-hmm.
it depends on module to module. Some modules are more of all written assignments based, some are more project based, wherein practical knowledge is expected out of you. And apart from that, there are certain simulation based, and I explained earlier, understanding markets, wherein you have to work in a software,
Mhm.
and it's again like a project based, but
Are you talking about
every
SPSS? Is that a software you use?
no, it's called Markstrat.
Okay.
So it's quite different, something new to me as well. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah, and then where was I? Yeah, in semester two, also all the modules are not 100% assignment based. So it can be like 40% practical, 60% written assignment. It's
Mhm.
like a report basically. You have to write reports on what you have learned, how you have learned that, and everything.
Right.
So
So every subject has more or less two assignments each. Am I?
yes. On an average, every yeah module has around like 50-50, 60-40, like that. Or for some models it can be 30-30, and then 40, like that.
Okay. So, that's the main difference. Like in terms of Russell Group universities, like when we were doing assignments, it was very, very, very research based. Like, okay,
Yeah,
50 years ago, this person said this, based on that evidence and today's da, 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 and then we have to connect that. So I think
yeah.
for us, there was not a lot of scope for creativity in that sense. It was just
Mhm.
research based. So how is it for you? Is it like, are you able to be more creative in your ideas, or is it always has to be based on like what is available?
In terms of my uni, if you ask, like in Hallam, if you ask what I'm studying right now, like I tend to be, so my frame of thought is that when in terms of marketing specifically, when you're learning something in marketing, it's not just theory based. I know research is very important, and all our assignments are also research based, because you need to back whatever you're seeing in your assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like for example, assignments such as written assignments, such as for example, we had a module called global brand management, wherein we had to come up with a company. We had been given an industry. We had to come up with company, and we had to name the company, and we had to sort of take the company to an international market, and sort of apply marketing strategies based on research. What you will do if you take that company, XYZ company, that you have created from thin air, to an international market,
Mm-hmm.
and why you are taking that to that market. So for example, I took the industry of automobile electrical vehicles, and I came up with a brand called Evolt. And I took that brand to Norway, because Norway is a growing place for electronic vehicles. But I had to give research, but as in why I'm taking them. So it is all research based. But on the same time, you should need to apply that in terms of practicality. Like say for example, we have a module right now called International Consultancy Project. Like we are actually facing live challenges that a real existing company in the world is facing. So this is what we are going to do after we get graduate. We are going to work with an actual company who is doing marketing in this time and age. So I think a blend of both can help you in
Mm-hmm.
shaping you as a professional, as well as while you are a student getting more information.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, research is very important. Again, very important. But practicality and practical knowledge also does matter, because ultimately you are going to do that. Even if you go into market research as a professional in your future career, you will do a lot of research which needs to be backed by data and analytics. But at the same time, you need to also know how you need to apply, because you're doing research and giving it to the company, and if it doesn't have any applicability, it won't make any difference. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing.
That's interesting. Thank you for your insight. So just tell me, like, okay, so you have 5 years of experience in marketing, and now you're
Yeah.
doing a course where you mentioned like there's some people who have come from different fields or have no experience. So do you think you're learning something new or more, or is it just like like a basic of what you already know like really well?
No, definitely. When I saw this course, there were certain modules that I really wanted to learn, because I didn't know anything about it,
Mhm.
and there were certain modules that I did, like for example, digital marketing, that I have right now in semester two, which I actually worked in for around 3 to 4 years. So I know what digital marketing is, and when I started my career, digital marketing was just growing at that time. But even though if I know digital marketing right now when I'm learning it, it's very different, because
Mhm.
it has changed a lot since when I started working. Because when I started working, digital marketing was just a thing in the market and not a full-fledged thing. And today like businesses are purely dependent on digital marketing. It's very important in today's life, especially after COVID. So I learned a lot of new things from that. Not that it was a cakewalk for me, but I learned a lot of different things, because if I'm paying, I want to learn something else, not just what I did in my practical career. So yeah, I learned a lot of new things. New modules were introduced to me, and apart from learning, the best part of you coming here as an international student is that you get this international exposure, where you meet a lot of people around the world, people from different frame of minds, different thoughts, different ideas. People are very intelligent around the world, and you need to sort of talk to them, socialize with them, and you understand it's your personal growth as well. So
Mm-hmm.
this is one thing that I learned apart from academics. I have people friends from around Jordan, Poland, Romania, uh, Britain. So they have different. They come from different cultures. They have done different undergrad degrees. They are not from marketing background, but they have a lot of knowledge from those specific areas, which you can actually learn from them. In terms of this experience that I'm talking about. And yes, academics is still there. The professors are good. They will teach you if there is something new that you don't know. They'll
Mm-hmm.
answer your questions.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's good.
And how
I
hard
learned a
do you
lot.
say? Like, how many hours do you put in for your coursework and to study every day?
Uh, I would say if you're not from marketing, you should at least spend around 2 hours a day when you're in uni. Uh, it's not like you need to sit and study. It's not like your board exams or something. But you need to sort of understand what they're teaching, because sometimes teaching can be a difficult task to understand, because the English is very different. And especially when you come to the UK, every part has their own slang
Mm-hmm.
and their own touch to English, even though they speak English. So essentially, you should not spend more than 2 to 3 hours. That's enough. That is good. 2 to 3 hours of good study. If you're not from marketing, yes, it's good. The best part is that once you finish uni in a day, you go back home, chill a bit, and just sort of flip through what you have learned throughout the day, and it will keep you updated basically, so that you don't miss out what you have learned in that day. So it's like your homework kind of a thing, and yeah, it's good. You will be able to crack your assignments. And I would suggest everybody that this people usually tend to do is that when assignments come up, they are studying. It's good that they are studying till then, but they start their assignments way late, like a week ago, or like 4 or 5 days ago, thinking that they'll just cover it up. But I would say that, since you also said that all our assignments are purely research based, when you need to go to Google Scholar, read a lot of journals, read a lot of research papers, which essentially takes time. And no matter how much smart you are, you need to put in those hours, and
Mm-hmm.
you need to write those assignments very nicely, so that it's not just about marks that you get, but it's more about what understanding you get, what you learn from those assignments. Because when you start reading research papers or journals, it's your personal growth as well. So you're not just doing for the sake of assignments. So I would suggest that you start early, you start to enjoy those assignments, not just complete for the sake of it, to just submit it. It's not the point that you have come here long way. So I would say just enjoy the process,
Mm-hmm.
learn it.
And how
That's
do you
what I would
think
say.
ChatGPT has changed the assignment process? Like, because when I came to uni, there was no ChatGPT. So,
Yeah,
everything was
yeah,
very manual. Now I'm surprised, like with AI, like the
yeah.
education industry has changed so much. So how do you, at university, are there any rules about not using AI or how does that go?
Okay, so yes, definitely AI is changing a lot, and universities are also very well aware of this. So you might think that you might easily fool the university. It's not the case, because writing assignments is not, you cannot rely on ChatGPT at all, like totally. Yes, ChatGPT can be your friend. It's not like you need to write assignments through ChatGPT and you will be done, because universities also have softwares that can detect if you have used ChatGPT. So you need to be very careful, and you shouldn't use ChatGPT, because it's useless in terms of your understanding, your knowledge. You might be able to push it through using
Using
ChatGPT, but that is,
paraphrasing and things like
yeah.
that.
So other thing is that paraphrasing, as you said correctly, you can use paraphrasing, ChatGPT for paraphrasing. That is a perfect thing. But for certain universities, they ask you to let them know before handing in your assignments that if you have used ChatGPT or any AI software for paraphrasing, you should mention it. So you can use it to the extent of paraphrasing. That's enough. Good. It will help you better your assignments. So yeah, you don't have to use ChatGPT completely to write your assignments because you might get caught and you will get caught. So don't do that. It's
Mhm.
a malpractice and it is a cheating on yourself also as a student. So don't do that. Just learn and use ChatGPT in the right way. If you have doubts that you need to clear, and if you don't have the professor at that time, you can use ChatGPT, ask basic questions, and it will answer all of your questions. So use ChatGPT smartly and to better your assignments, not to replace your assignments. That is what I would say.
Okay. So in terms of like the students in your class, like how big is your course? Like you said there are some classes where there are mixed, but just for international marketing, how many students are there?
Yeah, so international marketing, there are around 50 to 55 people in my course. And yeah, apart from my course, everybody it goes to 80 to 90 around in the lectures. But my classes, seminar classes are very small. There are 10 to 15 people maximum. Because seminars, they have divided the groups, like the entire 50 people groups into around 4 to 5 seminar groups. So that's why how they manage 3 to 4, sorry. So they have sort of managed to keep around 15 to 20 people in one class. 20 is maximum. Even 20 is a higher amount. So 10 to 15, I would say.
And how many Indians are there? Because like Indians are everywhere, but is it like
Yeah.
mainly Indian or do you still have a mixed crowd?
Yeah. So yes, Indians are everywhere, and in my course there are a lot of Indians. They're nice people. But yeah, there are a lot of people Indians around. Say in terms of 100%, around 60% are Indians.
Mm-hmm.
But for other courses they are less. So I don't know why. But
It
marketing,
depends. Mm-hmm.
yeah, there is a balance. But there are people from different
And how is
nationalities
the
as well.
male-female ratio?
Um, it's sort of, to be honest, it's like 50-50 almost, because there are equal girls to equal boys. So yes, it's balanced. For some, yeah, for some seminars, it's like 60-40, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
60 girls and 40 boys, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just wanted to ask you, like, because you have studied marketing, I mean, you have studied marketing in a bachelor's, work for 5 years, now master's again. But still, do you think that you should have learned something more before you came to the UK, which could have helped you in some basic skills?
Basic skills in the sense,
Like, for example, for me, like I was a fresher, but I thought like I should have learned something like SPSS before I came here, which would have helped me to make maybe do data analytics better or something like that, which could have made your university journey easier or something like that.
okay. In terms of that, I would just start with the basics. So, when I came here, I had sort of, since I worked for 5 years, I had uh, used a lot of Excels, a lot of Word, or other. PowerPoint was the best friend, because my last job was purely dependent on PowerPoint and Canva and everything, like, because it was creative but B2B, so
Mhm.
everything. So yes, having those skills is essential, because most importantly, what happens is, in UK universities is that they sort of use a lot of Word, and so Word is what you need to be good at,
Mhm.
because even though it sounds simple, but there are certain things that formatting, or like the way you write assignments, so it will help you. So such skills will definitely help you in the way you write. So yes, having those skills is also important, and other things, like, if you, as you say, SPSS, the softwares, Canva is a good friend that can be helpful in terms of, if you're doing marketing, obviously not for other courses. But yeah, softwares like Canva, or yeah, you need to have at least certain background knowledge, because in terms of digital marketing, if you consider, as since you have, marketers tend to have this module in their masters, there are certain softwares like MailChimp for email marketing, or um, there are a lot of software, so you need to uh, sort of at least have an idea. Not, you
Mhm.
don't have to be professional in that, but having a basic skill of, or understanding of these, will definitely help you in your master's journey, because you don't know in which module you might be have to use it. Because for example, right now, in international consultancy project, wherein the companies are coming in and asking us to create presentations, we really need to be good at presentations, because we need to actually present something that is worth presentable, not just backed by research and data, which is just pure text. So
Mhm.
having that creative ideas and like skills will definitely help us in getting that module out.
Mhm.
So yeah. So for certain modules, certain softwares will be required. So
Mhm.
try to learn as much as possible before coming, because people who are freshies or who are who also have an experience but are coming in September, still they leave their job early, or they are graduated earlier than they are starting their masters in the UK. So you have certain months before flying out. So rather than just chilling before coming to the UK, sort of get prepared for certain basics, so that when
Just
you
to
come here,
add to
it's
that, you talked about MailChimp and having some technical knowledge. So it's like, do universities give you like a hands-on thing, like okay, how to use MailChimp or how to run Facebook ads, or is it just like a thing you should know just for the industry purpose?
yeah. So why I mentioned that was I have digital marketing. So I knew what things they were going to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So they also teach it in the class. It's not that you would be at a problem if you don't know anything about MailChimp or any other software. Obviously, they will teach you everything. They are personally focused, because in seminar groups, as I said earlier, the groups are small and you can ask anything that comes to your mind. And especially when it comes to digital marketing, all our seminars are in the lab in front of a computer, so it's more of practical. So if you don't understand, say for example, we have a topic called website designing. So if you don't understand specifics about, like, basics about website designing, then simply ask the teacher. But again, if you know like what, in terms of website designing, what is the basic software that they use, is like WordPress, so you at least know that much. It will
Mm-hmm.
be good for you, then you can at least learn
They do
more, and
teach
you.
you how to design websites and all of that as well.
Yeah, in digital marketing, yes, they do teach us how,
That's so
what types of.
interesting because for me, what was digital marketing?
Yeah.
0% practicality. We did not learn anything about Facebook ads, not about MailChimp, not about it was just about okay, research and how digital has evolved and things like
uh,
that. I think this is really interesting to have like a
yeah.
really hands-on approach.
Yeah, this module is more of like, so again, even the assignment is interesting if I have to tell you more about digital marketing, because here they will teach you everything in the lab, right from website designing to social media analytics to social media management, uh, all email marketing strategies, email marketing softwares, emailer template designing, everything. And in terms of that, they will teach you that practically in the seminars. And in terms of assignments, there is, I think, only one assignment that is 100% assignment. There is no division in that, wherein you have to pick up any existing company, and you have to sort of analyze the company in terms of digital marketing, in terms of its digital footprint, not just social media marketing, because people tend to be confused with digital marketing and social media marketing. It's not the same. Digital marketing is a big thing,
But,
and
mhm,
social media marketing is a small part of it. So you will have to write an entire assignment on a company's digital footprint that includes their website, social media, everything. You have to analyze it, research about it, and backed by theoretical research as well as practical research, data, everything you have to put in. So
mhm.
it's like a mixture
Very
of you're
wholesome.
learning. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're learning it practically, you're applying it academically in your assignments. So it's
So if you
woven
had
together.
to name like three main things which are different in universities in India and universities in UK, what would those be?
So three main things are, obviously the first thing is written assignments, because in India you are expected to write papers in that 3 hour period and go to uni and write those, wherein you people tend to miss out on certain things because they want to write bit more in detail, but due to time problems they are not able to write, and that hampers their marks in certain ways, because that is what I faced when I was in undergrad. Um but the second thing is the teaching style. It is in Indian universities. Uh, it's like you have classes, and they are just they teach you something in one class, and it is not repeated in your seminars, or there is no such thing called seminars or lectures,
Mm-hmm.
because in your Indian university they are just lectures, and you
Mm-hmm.
attend that and you're done. But in England, it's pretty different, because they sort of try to hammer you with a lot of information and double the information of the same thing, so that they are teaching the same thing in lectures and getting you to do the same things about the same topic in seminars also. So
Okay.
it's hammered into your head, and you don't
Okay.
essentially miss out on anything, because in India lectures are like one time things. They don't repeat any topics
Mm-hmm.
unless and until the students want them repeated. That is
Okay.
the second thing. And the third thing is yeah, the exposure, I would say, because in India you tend to stay with your friends and be in your comfort, and I think studies are a bit light, or people take it lightly in terms of in India. But here, studying is also very important. You need to actually put in your work, because people have that this misconception that in the UK you just have to write assignments and you'll just pass. It's not like that. You have to actually put in your work, and you have to actually show, because in India, again, if I'm sorry, but this is the fourth difference that I'm finding, is that in India, most of the professors not PhD, or they are just master's level. In here, these are in the England, these professors are more PhD people who have done their PhD from universities like Oxford and Harvard. So they have that knowledge that they want to share with you, and they are the style that they check their assignments are also very difficult. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to actually make a point when you write your assignments. Not like that you just write paragraphs and they'll just check, okay, the way they do in India. You
Correct.
just check, okay, it's relevant, okay, let's just write, and you'll pass. It's not like that. You have to back it with enough research, and you need to actually convince each and every professor, because in England every professor is different. Their requirements in terms of their assignments are going to be different. Their thought process is different. So you need to understand them during your lectures, and you need to apply them in your assignments as well. So
Okay.
that
So,
is a task.
mm-hmm. So if you have to name one thing you love about your university which stands out from anyone else, what would that be?
I the best thing is about Sheffield Hallam University is they have this tagline called "Knowledge Applied," and they actually stand true to it, because they are not just all academic. They have practical teaching also, which is very important in
Mm-hmm.
today's life, especially for marketers. Because again, going back to the same thing, that when you start your job, you are going to do it practically more than academically. Academically is just for your understanding your knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
but going forward, if you want to make a career of it, you're going to have to apply it practically. That's the best part of Sheffield Hallam University. And also, um, this is quite off of what I'm going to say, but I really wanted to go to the US because of that uni life. And England uni life is different to universities in the USA, because it's like varsity things, and you are influenced by a lot of uh, Netflix series and everything. So I wanted to have that type of culture and that type of exposure, which is difficult to find in England, because it's more like sophisticated in England as compared to the US. But I found this university which is more of that American feel.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the second thing that I liked about Hallam. So that's why I took
And what
admission
did
in
you
it.
not like? Like, if you have to name one thing which could have been better at Sheffield Hallam, what would that be?
Uh, Better in the sense is that they tend to give admissions to a lot of students, irrespective of their backgrounds, which is the best thing. But for them, for students who are not from marketing background, find it a bit harder in terms of international marketing, because they are not from marketing background. They essentially start with the basics, like the 4 P's of marketing, which needs to be elaborated a bit more. They are doing a good job. I'm not saying that they are not doing a good job, but I think they should actually add a bit more basics for those people, because it wasn't a problem for me. But I had certain, like, people from India who did engineering basically, and then came for international marketing, who did try struggle with certain basics. But they had to also ask that professor, which they did do, which you should do if you are
Mm.
not from marketing background. But yeah, certain basics on more workshops and everything will help students better.
And let's talk a bit about your career self. So just tell me, like, how does university help you? Do they help you with making your CVs? Do they have any like companies who are coming to the university to have like seminars? Or like how is the placement cell in general?
Okay. The placement cell is quite similar to all the universities across the UK. Every UK university has a placement cell, which they help you with placements, job opportunities as well. So in Hallam, they have a placement cell wherein they will help you build your CV. You can book a one-to-one with them. It's all free of cost, because it's all covered with your tuition fees. So you can book a one-to-one with them. Understand for freshers specifically that they are starting new, especially in a different country, so it can be a bit challenging to them as well, because in the UK the CV format is a bit different than India. So that considering that. And they also teach you how you need to present yourself in terms of the interviews. They will prepare you for the interviews. They will take mock interviews if you want them to. Basically, all the essential support that you need to get a good job or to get that job opportunity, you will get it. But you will have to look for it in
Mhm.
university. It's not like that they're just sitting and just visit us. You'll have to make that effort by yourself, put in those efforts, mails a few people, go to your course leader, talk to them, make a
Mhm.
good connection with them. So purely it's all connection based. And also about the universities, sorry, the companies that come to your university, yes, they there are quarterly newsletters that are sent out to existing students, wherein so there are two things. Businesses or companies don't essentially just come here to hire you. They
Mhm.
also come here for extra seminars, for educational workshops and everything, which is not part of your modules, which is not compulsory, but it's an activity from the part of the university to bring in people to help them enjoy your uni life, as well as gain and talk to companies and businesses that are coming visiting your university. So for example, we had a person or senior marketing manager from Krispy Kreme, the donut company, that visited our university a couple of months ago, who came in and talked about how digital marketing has changed, how they're using digital marketing, how they're using it to sell more donuts, basically, how they're using digital marketing to improve their branding across the UK. So such seminars are always held by university throughout the year.
Mhm.
And you need to, they are also free. You don't have to pay anything. Just
Mhm.
you get the email that it is going to happen on this day in this theater hall, and you just have to show up,
And how in
maybe ask
terms of the
questions.
opportunities is it? Like if, for example, many people choose London because a lot of companies are here and part-time jobs and things are considerably easy, which I don't agree. But how is it in Sheffield? Like because it's a smaller city, like do you have like can you work in marketing or what part-time jobs do people do there?
So essentially, you won't get a field job. This is the harsh truth. In part time, a field job is very difficult to get. Apart from that, you can get other jobs which are not in your field, but they tend to pay well, such as like warehouse jobs where
Mm.
you have to manage inventory and everything. So those can be a good starting point for you as an international student. Yes, I would give it to bigger cities in terms of part time, because there are essentially it's practical, because there are more companies, more restaurants available in bigger cities as compared to Sheffield, because Sheffield is pretty small place, and finding a part-time can be difficult here
Mm.
because it's very small. And on top of that, there are two universities, and wherein loads of international students come every year. So part-time jobs are already saturated and they're taken over by existing students. So it might be very hard for you to get a part-time job here, but you need to look for it. And yes, because it is will obviously help in getting you a part-time job, but it's not like that you will get a part-time job, because even in bigger cities there is a scarcity of part-time jobs. uh, but as far as even the living cost, you need to consider when selecting in terms of geography, because Sheffield is one of the cheapest cities in the UK to have your living. And because once you move to a bigger city, your rent goes way beyond,
Mm.
and you don't have to exceed that, obviously.
Talking about
And
finances, like mentioned, like what is your average monthly expense in Sheffield?
some for me, I am paying around right now where I'm staying. It's a good accommodation, pretty airy. Uh, it's IQ accommodation, and it's like 119 pounds per week. So I have taken the most expensive because I wanted a bigger room. But there are accommodations that start, which my friends have taken, that start from 70 pounds per week, which is very cheap. That goes to around 300-350 pounds per
Make
month.
me
I know, I know,
emotional.
I know. Londoners tend to feel that rent is pretty cheap. But yeah, it is very pretty cheap in Sheffield.
Mhm.
And I'm paying around 450, 450, yeah, 450
Yeah.
around a month. And yeah, apart from that, my groceries go around because I share, we cook together. I have big group of friends and we cook together. So we tend to share our groceries.
Mhm.
So if you're staying by yourself, you don't have a group of friends, if you're cooking by yourself, it shouldn't cost you more than 300 or 400 pounds a month. That is maximum that I'm speaking. Even 300 pounds is way enough in Sheffield, because even in 30-50 pounds you get a lot of groceries that can last you for a month. So
And how is
apart
the
from that,
social life there? Like other than uni and like chilling at accommodation, what else can you do in Sheffield?
yeah, it's a con, I would say, because Sheffield is small and things start to get shut down pretty early in Sheffield because it's like 5:30, everything is closed. In weekends it closes at 4:30 only, so it can be challenging. But you have friends who stay in different accommodations, so you can get together and you can live a good social life. Weekends are in terms of Friday nights and Saturday nights. It is the best part because I didn't know this, but people from around Sheffield, like Manchester, Birmingham, travel all the way down for Friday nights because the party scenes are very pretty crazy up here in Sheffield. So yeah, people there's literally a traffic jam in Sheffield when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to Friday nights. So yeah, life is pretty good in
Mm-hmm.
that sense. But in weekdays, obviously you will have uni, so you don't have enough time to enjoy your social life that much. But on weekends, you can have the best time of your life in terms
Okay.
of Sheffield because Sheffield is all about greenery and hills and everything. You can go to parks, not just clubbing, but parks and shopping centers. You want to shop and go there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And have you already started applying for full-time jobs?
Not yet. I'm still in my second semester just started. So I'm trying to build my CV because I need to update that as well. In terms of the UK job market, I'm also thinking about taking some university employment support wherein they'll actually help me because even though I'm experienced, I still want to know more about the job market because I haven't worked here yet. So need to know more about it, and uni is the best place where I can get it.
So do you plan to
So
shift to London or Manchester after, or do you want plan to stay in Sheffield?
I was in London for a trip, and I love London, honestly. But London is expensive, as they say, and it depends on what package you get. So if
Mm-hmm.
it's affordable to stay in London, definitely I would love to stay in London.
So what
London
do
is
you think
London.
is the package for like marketing graduates with a 5 year of experience in?
Honestly, I'm not sure, but I was researching in between, and I found out that you can go. So for 5 years, for if you've worked in a good company, like a recognizable company, and if you can actually show that experience, not just working in small companies, so it can go up to around. I saw one job which was around 45K to 50K for
Mm-hmm.
your year, and it is like good enough. It was in Manchester, I think so, and considering Manchester cost of living, I think it's good. You can go for it because
Right.
it's not much, but in terms of your
I think
expenses in
that is
Manchester,
one thing a marketer struggle with a lot because in marketing the salaries are not that high. If you think
I
about
know. Yeah,
finance and things, the starting salary is like 70, 80, and
yeah,
it goes up to 200, 300. So compared to
yeah,
that, I think living in London on a marketing salary is kind of
yeah.
a tricky thing. That
Tricky
is,
thing, yes.
but
It depends on
mm,
which company you get. Even if you get a good company, like very good multinational company in London, then they pay you pretty well because I have friends from University of Sheffield who have got offers around 65 to 70K, but they're in finance.
mhm,
But still, yeah, business management roles or marketing management roles, yeah, you can expect something if you have an experience. Yeah,
right.
you can, but depends on your luck, obviously.
So long term, do you plan to stay in the UK itself?
I have not planned for it yet because the weather is pretty challenging. I
Mm-hmm.
know. It has its own perks. I like the cold weather. It's nice. But yeah, let's see what happens in terms of job opportunities because I want. I learned this because I want to work in different markets, so don't want to stay in this for a long time. So there,
Right.
yeah,
Interesting. So let's go to the conclusion part of it.
yeah.
So if you look at your semester, like one semester which has been done so far, like what do you wish which could have like you could have worked better for your second semester?
Yeah, so that is the main thing that every international student struggles with it. Even I struggle with it big time. Is that writing assignments? You don't know how to write assignments. Obviously, you will get a lot of university support. Again, it's free. You can talk to them, and they will help you how to write your assignments. You can just write a draft of your assignment, send it to them, and ask them to check if it's on the right track. Is it logical or not, and everything. And they'll help
They
you.
do that.
So yeah, they do that. They have one-on-one sessions that you can book and actually talk to them. They can help you explain where you lacked before even turning in your first assignment. So my friends from other countries did the same thing, and I also did the same thing. I sort of wrote my first assignment, and I wasn't sure that what citations are, what referencing is, and I was pretty new to it. And So I sort of sent my draft to them, sort of booked a one-on-one, me and my friend, and then they sort of explained us that, okay, you are lacking in these areas. This is what is expected, because every assignment has its own assignment brief. You need to stick to it, as well as stick to the way you are writing your assignment. So yeah,
Mhm.
they helped me a lot. And now I can see that after first semester, my assignment writing is improved, because it was like first assignment was very bad, second it got better, third it got better, fourth was very good. So yeah, it sort
Mhm.
of grew.
Yeah, for everyone watching still, like I have a lot of videos about citations and referencing. Do check that out. But
Yeah.
the very last question is like again, like overview. Like if you had to give an best advice for somebody who is coming to the UK, who's coming to Sheffield to study, what would be the best piece of advice you would give?
Best piece of advice would be, in terms of life, I would say, go as early as and check your accommodations, because I've seen people struggle with getting accommodations. They tend to fill up very fast, and then when it's the day, you will be charged like hell lot of money, because it can go up to £200 per week also, which is not advisable. And because you can get the same, literally same room for £100 or £120, and you don't want to spend that much. Also, start applying to universities as early as possible. If it's Sheffield or anywhere in the UK, start applying to it early, because then you, and don't just apply to one university, you try to narrow it down. Do good research what you want to do in terms of your career, in terms of what you have done. Even if you want to jump to a different field, it's okay. Just see what you want to go further in terms of your job, and research it thoroughly. Check which modules you want to really study, which universities you're looking for. It's not about Russell Group or non-Russell Group. Just go first and check what you're going to study, rather than just going by the name of the university.
Mhm.
And also check uh, your friends who have gone there, because I had a friend who was at Hallam University, who was from Pune, my city only. And I sort of talked to him earlier. I asked how Sheffield is it good, nice, is it bearable, non bearable in terms of weather, everything, because in the UK it tends to snow a lot in certain areas, and it doesn't snow much in certain areas, and you need to be aware of your environment also. So try to find out friends in those cities where you want to go, and just do your research, and then come to the uni to UK.
Mhm.
And don't worry, don't be scared. I know it can be pretty scary if you're moving out of your home country to a different country, but it's like, it's what they say, it's when it's scary to jump, you jump. So
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
the best part. And even I was scared, because moving abroad, moving out of your house and living all by yourself for the first time in your life, it is challenging. You tend to live a luxurious life at home. It's luxurious here as well, but you have to work for it, and
Mhm.
it helps you grow as a person. So you can feel the change. So that's a good thing. So go for it. You guys are a very good place to come. People have questioned that there are problems in UK right now about recession and everything. I know there are problems, but if you're looking, I wouldn't say anything about employment right now, because I'm not there yet. But
Mhm.
in terms of education, I think England is one of the biggest and the most reputed countries in the world to give out education, and it has been since ages.
Mhm.
So definitely you should, if you really want to get a master's degree, if you really want to learn, definitely you should go for UK. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
I think this session has been really, really interesting, and I have learned so much from you. So thank you so
Oh,
much for
thank you
being
so
here and
much.
so detailed, oriented answers. I'm
Thank
sure
you so much.
everybody who wants to come here and study at Sheffield exactly knows what to do and what not to do now. So
Yeah,
thank you, Anand. So if you don't
thank
mind,
you.
if I'm going to add your LinkedIn in the description box below, just in case if somebody
Oh,
has
definitely.
questions.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, so that's it from my end. Thank you
Yes,
again for being here
no problem.
and talk to you
Thank
soon.
you so much for having. Thank you, Devyani.